Hello, welcome back to another video. So I'm going to do a video on the tips I've learned for when you're feeling anxious, and I did a video exactly like this a few years ago, but I don't have it up anymore, and also I feel like I've learned a few more things since then. The one thing I'm not going to be talking about in this video is distraction, because for me anxiety is a feeling that is very physical, knots in my stomach, like dry mouth, like quick heartbeat. I can't think of the word for that, but it's a very physical one for me, and I really struggle to distract myself from it. So you're not going to hear me talking about that, but if that works for you, go for it. I've always said it and I'll probably always say it. Anxiety is the worst symptom for me to deal with because it is so physical. It's hard for me to manage and try and get away from. I feel that's why it's important for me to do this video, because if anyone else is like me and gets stuck, it could really help someone else. So the first thing is avoid. Now I understand that sounds negative straight off. When you're anxious you should also try and confront some of that anxiety and kind of like prove yourself wrong. But also I've learned that there's some like triggers and some situations, some people that can just make you anxious no matter what you do, no matter how hard you push that situation. You just feel stressed and you are going to bring anxiety on. For me, situations that I know 100% like there's nothing I can do to make myself feel better in that situation, or it's like a trigger, like I just avoid that. And obviously when you're out of your comfort zone you can make a lot of progress, you can make a lot of growth, but also in terms of anxiety sometimes it's a 50-50 on if you're gonna push yourself and grow, or if you are gonna make it so much worse and struggle even more. Then there's absolutely nothing wrong with saying no, I'm not going to do that, or no, I'm not going to talk to you about that, or no, I'm not going to be around that. There's nothing wrong, and you don't need to people please. There's no need to do something for the sake of it if it's going to make you feel negative for doing it. So I'll give you a couple of examples for me where I have chosen to avoid something. So on Instagram, when I had like my Instagram with like a few hundred followers, if I had anyone on there that I'd had since like I was 14 and they made me uncomfortable, I didn't really like align with them anymore or agree with them on certain things anymore, or especially like if any Instagram models came up and stuff like that and I instantly felt really body conscious and negative for it, like I am 100% within my rights to unfollow someone or to block if needed, and I have made use of that. And anyone that makes me feel negative I don't have on any of my social medias if possible, because at the end of the day that's your space to be you, and you don't need to give them time of day. If it's going to make you feel negative, you don't need to do it. And the second one is crowded places. So sometimes I'm really not in the right mindset to go face a crowded place. Sometimes I can handle it, but most of the time I will avoid that situation because I'm only going to feel really stressed and negative for it, and there's no point. So don't take this as me saying avoid everything that makes you anxious, because you will put yourself in a box and you will be stuck there and it won't be nice. And the things that you feel like there's a little bit of leeway on, push yourself. The last thing I want to talk about is if you're already feeling anxious and something's already triggered it and you can't really bring yourself down, I have a few things that I know help me and could help you. First, block any external factors that are making it worse. So if it's really bright and that's making it worse, go somewhere darker or shut the curtains or something like that. If you're around people that you're not 100% comfortable with, try and leave to somewhere you are comfortable. And also for me, I just try and make it like as comfortable and as like somewhat cozy of a setting, so that there's nothing externally around me that could make it worse right now, and all I have to think about is how I feel and try and bring that down. I hope that will make sense, but basically just try and make your surroundings as comfortable as possible so that there's nothing else you need to think about or worry about apart from calming down and feeling better. If it's more long-term anxiety and there's like an event coming up and that's making you anxious, honestly I feel like I really struggle with that one still, so I would be pretty crap to give you advice on that because I'm still human and I still struggle with that one. But I guess I do manage in those situations at the end of the day, and all I really do is I'll kind of like risk assess the situation coming up. What is the worst thing that could happen that I'm worrying about right now? If the anxiety starts coming back up again about it, I'll just remind myself of the worst case scenario, and then I guess that kind of rationalises it for me and I try and come back down. I don't know if that one makes any sense, hopefully it does. So I hope it actually helped, and thank you so much for taking time out of your day to watch my videos. And yeah, I'll see you again.